you not only have accented English, but also you're having to work with people who speak differently, whether that's through some kind of maybe speech impairment or just a different like mouth shape or something, right? I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why people might sound different from standard American English. What are some of the ways that you try to account for that? Is that just a matter of training in artificial intelligence, or are there other techniques that you use to try to improve the success rate around something like that?
That's a great question. I'll kind of slice it into a couple slices because it is a really complex problem, and it's a pretty like old problem, like getting the same AI system to recognize all these different accents, all these different speech patterns. People who speak English as a second language, so they're coming with any accent from anywhere else in the world. They're speaking English with a Chinese accent, for example. It's complicated. So there's the speech recognition layer, which is where you take the person's sound wave, like they make a sound, there's like electronic representation of the sound wave, and you try to get that into like words. So there's like a whole set of algorithms, like a whole system dedicated to that process. And on that level, that's where you would try to make sure that you had sound wave training that accounted for different accents. For someone like me, that's a little bit outside the scope of my role. But like if we were working with a vendor, we were using a certain speech recognition technology, and we noticed that it wasn't working for a large group of people, like let's say, in LA, there's tons of people from the Philippines or something like that. If we notice that there's a whole group of people who aren't being recognized, then I would advocate to the vendor that we work with and give them examples and say like, hey, can we do extra training? If you work for like a big company, you might be able to do things a little bit more on the inside. But basically we try to just, through our observations and our testing, make sure it's working for many accents and then advocating when it isn't. So that's the way that we account for like different accents. And then there's also the like different vocabulary, verb structures, grammar structure side of it that would be kind of visible in text. So like you versus y'all, or like in Arkansas, people say might could, like I might could eat.
Right.
We can see those in the text version, so we can account for those in our text training data.
Got it. Yeah, there's some examples that you give in your book about the various ways that people say yes and no in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. There's the yeah, no, and the no, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the no, yeah, no.
Yeah. No, yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I just did it then. And the intent behind that is so difficult to parse and is so nuanced, and you almost have to. I imagine that there are those kinds of patterns that actually mean different things based on where somebody is from or where the restaurant is located, where the agent, I suppose, is located in that case. Have you found in your work with various clients, various restaurants, that you have to, that one of your settings is, well, you're located in this part of the country, and so you have to sort of tweak the actual meanings of things in that way?
That's a great question. I am sure that exists. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I'm sure that it does. I mean, there's definitely, the expression, oh, bless her heart. Mm-hmm. Means different things regionally. Like in the South, it's like not something you would want to be said about you, but in other regions it can be sincere. Other cultures it can be sincere, like bless her heart, like in a nice way. So there must be things like that are very contextual.